Good afternoon. Welcome to Jim Munley's World of Weather. Clicked on to long-range weather forecast discussion for September 14th to the 28th. We're going to look at the period for September 14th to the 18th. That's what we have here. We're going to start here with the trough here across the northwest, ridging in the plains. Fairly strong ridge for this time of year. And we also have a trough across the northeast. Now, a moist southerly flow into the plains will cause moderate to heavy rain. And the trough is forecast to lift out early next week as the next trough moves into the west, bringing more rain across the west to the plains. And we'll go to the surface and we'll look at the rainfall amount, or we'll look at the surface pattern. 14th, then we go to the 18th. We look at the various models. And then we also have a front here over the western Atlantic, and this could bring some rain to the Carolinas. Now, we can look at the rain because we're going to focus here because this area needs the rain. Let's see if I have the... Okay, this is the East Coast. And you can see we still have rain current across Florida. This is with the front, so it still doesn't let up. And this is back into the 22nd. So you can see we have the rainfall amounts. And we'll look at the rainfall amounts for this period. It looks like most of it stays offshore. Maybe the Outer Banks might get a little bit of heavier rain. Looks like approaching 2 inches. And then this is across the southeast where we're concentrating more like on Florida. And we can see the rain comes back. And we have some heavy rainfall amounts here. But it looks like, again, the rainfall remains offshore. Now, the ridge across the Central Plains will cause well above normal temperatures, with temperatures well into the 90s. And we'll look at the temperatures for this area. Now, 14th to the 18th. Look at these temperatures. 90s, low 90s, upper 90s here in parts of Missouri, even up into Iowa, temperatures in the low 90s. And we go to the 18th at 2 p.m., low 90s here in Illinois. Let me see if there's anything higher than that. No, it looks like low to mid 90s across much of the region. Okay, we're going to look at the period for September 19th to the 23rd. And what we have here, the ensembles, including continue to indicate more of a zone of flow. You can see right here. Here's the European ensembles. Here's the GFS ensembles. But the GFS has an upper low here, trough here in the west, ridge building in across the south. And then we look at the European. The European has a trough over here over the Northeast Pacific, and the troughing more situated in the Mississippi Valley. So I'm calling for this forecast period. I'm calling for, come on, I am calling for above normal temperatures for much of the country, with the anomalies close to 8 degrees or more above normal here. And for precipitation, calling for below normal precipitation for this region and here. Probability of occurrence is about 35%. Above normal precipitation here. Probability of occurrence 35%. We're going to look at the period for September 24th to the 28th. And again, we look at all the ensembles. This is the GFS. This is the European ensembles. This is the Canadian ensembles. And the NAEFS, all showing a low amplitude flow. The GFS, though, has a trough here, an upper low in the west, ridging in the east, while the European depicts the opposite, ridging in the west, troughing in the east. So with all this as a compromise going into all this, I am keeping the temperature anomalies pretty much unchanged from the previous period. And for precipitation, calling for above normal precipitation here, probability of occurrence 35%. Below normal precipitation here, probability of occurrence is up to 40%. I think the 40% would be mostly across the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic region. So that is it for today. That is the long-range weather forecast discussion for September 14th to 28th. Thanks for coming, Jim Munley's World of Weather, and have a good day.